So just when the government started spending more and signed the big, beautiful bill, the government shut down. And most defense companies ended up correcting, as they normally do, during a government shutdown. And then shortly after that, we saw some recoveries, especially towards the end of this last week. We saw some green here. BigBear.AI stock is one of the smaller but quietly dominant AI companies in the government. They just acquired a $250 million acquisition. So we're going to talk about that AI company they bought. We're also going to talk a little bit about the market, the general market of the defense companies. And we might as well also just talk about some of the new innovations we dropped. For example, have you guys seen the machine over here and how it's now being called prophecy? All you got to do is go ahead and search up any stock. We can start with BBAI here. And let's get the analysis rolling. Boom. BigBear.AI, see how quickly that was with Gemini. We got Gemini. You can use Grok, OpenAI, Claude, you name it. Let's get the projections from BigBear. So as you can see, just to start it off, let's start it off with this. If you haven't already grabbed this, you can get a deal in the first link below for Black Friday. And it's before we open out of beta, which once we do that, it's going to be not better than this. I'll tell you that. When it comes to the daily live trading, if you ever want to tune on in too, that's the second link below. But guess what? You can get that for free when you join into the machine. So let's take a look at some of these projections. It's kind of shaking something here. I can kind of see we got some ion Q, back-end quantum we probably want to look at. But let's take a look at the projections. Again, you got the next month bullish 28%. I've never seen this. Claude is so bullish on BigBear.AI. It's anticipating to get up over $10 a share. Wow. And that's different than what we were seeing over on OpenAI. I think OpenAI was not as bullish. Let's see how OpenAI was looking. Oh, no, OpenAI is bullish as well. Was it Grok that wasn't bullish on the next year? See if they've changed tune. No, seems like they're all pretty bullish. Interesting. Well, when we're looking at the analysis here, what you can see is that BigBear.AI has had this very consistent uptrend. You got this uptrend here from $1 a share into this $6 price point, and they're continuing to make this run. They're trying to break out up into about $10 a share. So a $10 share breakout from here would be about a 60% increase. So we still got a ton of work to do before they get there, but let's take a look at what that means. First, defense spending. It's been increasing. We've seen a few notable defense contracts, including a $1 billion deal that Amentum recently signed there. And the acquisitions are getting bigger as BigBear.AI signed and acquired the Ask Sage platform. So as BigBear.AI is a company that's building computer vision and AI that deals with verification processes and tracking people to go in and out of the US, frankly, they had their Variscan deploy at many airports. We've seen it, of course, we talked about it. It's in Denver International Airport, LAX, it's in Chicago, Charlotte, it's there. And those are good things to see ahead of the World Cup and ahead of the Olympics coming to the US, as they could be one of the top companies that the government's going to say, hey, we need some of that data. You got millions of people that you're scanning the face of. Hey, give us that data, because that's something they're doing. Now, on top of that, you got to have integrity as a company. They got to back up the technology that they're saying. So I think this CEO needs to hold up his reputation. And so far, with the exception of not doing a Q&A on the earnings call, which I was really looking forward to, and not really expanding on the Redwire contract, because I got to go to that conference a while back, go to the space conference and meet with Redwire. Didn't really get to hear about how they're working with BigBear, but BigBear is partnered with Redwire, and they haven't said anything really much about the Palantir partnership that they have. But anyway, the CEO has a reputation, and he's previously commissioner of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection and acting secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So in that, coming from those places, you would expect that he's going to be focusing on TSA, right? And TSA is looking for requesting, you see the screening partnerships. TSA has $5.4 billion out to invest into AI-driven threat detection, and TSA pre-check digital IDs, biometric verification tools, all that stuff. And BigBear.AI did just beat their earnings after acquiring an AI company that's partnered with major government divisions. So here's what happened. They basically increased their revenue by 30, or they increased their earnings revenue just a tad quarter over quarter, and decreased their margin on the net income so that they actually came in positive on the net income. We haven't seen that before. Then they increased their balance sheet up to $1 billion nearly in total cash, or total assets, which is impressive because it wasn't long ago this year we were seeing them at 400 million. So they basically more than doubled their assets. Their cash is up 800%. And then in that move, they do the acquisition for Ask Sage. So now that they've acquired this company, they're anticipating some more growth and more contracts, frankly, because they own an AI that's an LLM trusted by the Department of Defense and other top secret authorizations. So in doing this, they bought this AI that's used by NASA, used by the Defense Health Agency, used by the Department of Defense. And so they acquired this company, and now they're going to probably build out some of the partnerships related to what they've acquired with this company. So that could give them some more revenue, some more headwinds into the next quarter. And if Ask Sage was already on track to do what they reported, 25 million in the year, it adds just a little bit of revenue to their bottom line. We'll see if they can really continue to grow it and maybe integrate it into their current contracts that they have. So what does it mean for you as far as targets? I mean, if you're looking at Big Bear right now, you see this overall uptrend. Longer term, we'd love to see. It might take a while, but consistency is key. Getting up into this $10 range. Again, it's a 60% increase. Anybody that's getting 60%, probably pretty happy. We got in at $2.80 back here before this first surge in December. And we've been holding BigBear.AI ever since. And so I have long-term positions and I'm okay with the volatility. But in the short term, so I'm anticipating longer term growth in the company. In the shorter term though, there's volatility. You see them start to recover back up into, so we went over the charts, we went over the news. This is now the charts after going over the financials and the news. And you can kind of see here that it's really interesting. They found support around $5. They were consolidating from left to right, and then they've pushed back up above to $6. Now it's possible they get rejected here. It is possible, and they sell back down in their trend here to around $5.50 to $5 a share. It's possible. This right here, that could happen. Frankly, on Monday at market open, it's possible. Now, if we see the market green continue into this week and into, let's say this year, into the end of this year, then you're looking at a breakout above $6 a share. And this is what most traders short-term are looking at. First, they're looking at this level here, this resistance that they saw around $7.15, $7.25, $7.50, right around here. So if they get up to here, that's about a 16% increase from here to potentially up to a 32% margin for profit in the nearer term if they get up to that 850. So these are the levels to watch. Key level at $6 a share. If they hold it above, right now they're at $6.30. If they hold above $6, it's looking good. Their next target's around $7 to $7.50, which is a 10 to 15% margin for profit. So if you're looking at a trade short term, like we may be looking at market open, we would look exactly tomorrow, or not market open tomorrow, but on Monday, we're going to watch very closely, because if an opportunity presents itself around that $6 support level and it holds, we see it continue that direction, then we may enter some shorter term positions as we normally do on company like Big Bear. We like that company. We love to trade this company, and we only trade companies alongside our longer term positions that we're already holding, because, well, if it goes down, we're not upset because we like the company long term anyway. But we have risk management, and we'll want to make sure that the margin for profit makes sense. Right now, you would probably set a stop somewhere around the $6 price point and look for that jump up to $7. So I think what you're buying when you buy Big Bear is it's a company that's in a competition-driven market. There's a lot of AI companies looking to get government contracts. but they are established. They are building the infrastructure. And I think they're going to continue to see the revenue increase. So far over the last year, as we've covered them, they have increased their balance sheet. They have continued to get better and beat earnings this last earnings. And I think they're on the right track. So I'm going to continue to allocate into them. And I also want to share with you guys that while this is a company we cover a lot, it's not anything other than just giving you the facts if you're a holder or if you're curious about which AI companies are moving. With that being said, if you would like to see me ever at Market Open trade live and surround yourself with 29 millionaires, then I would encourage you to join StockMate. It's the second link down below. You get a link about 15 minutes before Market Open, Monday through Friday, and I'll be there right at Market Open. You get a link to watch it and surround yourself with like-minded investors and traders. So in StockMate, you also, not only do you get the earnings that are coming out for this next week, we'll have some targets as we got some notable releases. You can send messages to other investors as we got plenty in here. We've had some really good testimonials recently with a few people literally doubling their accounts. And you can send me a chat too if you have anything. But other than that, you got learning materials, all that good stuff, along with the tools to make it happen. So that included as well. A lot of people say, Will, what books do you read? You can read, The Intelligent Investor. You can read The Psychology of Money. You can read the Value Investing by Benjamin Graham. You could probably read other books like Freakonomics, or maybe even Rich Dad Poor Dad, or what have you. But hey, I took what I've learned and I put it all into a little book here that goes over how we learn the ordinary versus the profitable. So reward, no plan, emotional, FOMO, pump and dumps, versus trading plan, stock that meets a criteria, and seeing the risk to reward, and actually how to learn, like ordinary mindset versus profitable mindset. How do you actually learn to invest and become good at what you do? What's a trading plan? What does that look like? All that good stuff. I put it together here before ChatGPT. So mindset, emotional IQ is definitely a big one. And anyway, you get that for free as a bonus, as well as a free t-shirt, a StockMate tee, when you join StockMate. So if you want to go grab that stuff, again, Black Friday is still available. Second link down below. Would love to see you there at Market Open. Appreciate you all. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.